fortunate enough to experience and learn many different sides of what goes into a research, the general process of how a project is initially planned, developed and completed. As well, how much work and detail goes into every different stages. Another valuable lesson I have learned during these 12 months were the many different types of work a researcher has to perform, which in turn have provided me with more insight into different types of roles and responsibilities. The research period was enjoyable for me as it did make me unseal my theoretical knowledge and apply them to real-life situations. Through experience and observations, another valuable lesson that I have learned while working at project was things can change very quickly and dramatically. If there are any uncertainties from whether a survey was off by a few millimeters, if materials chosen for a certain aspect of project were unsuitable, it always had to be checked numerous times and from senior level sources before any conclusions could be made. The saying, research is what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing was very true. At times, I was overwhelmed by the work and the responsibilities that were placed on me. But with the help of my supervisor, Engineer Rajan Karmachari, who have had years of experience, I felt more confident and supported as I knew my work would be double-checked and any uncertainties will be explained. By observing and learning from him, I managed to pick up tips and learn different types of skills and was able to decipher my plans. The rush of completing work on time was always intense. As well, as we all knew the consequences of not meeting the deadlines. We would have to explain ourselves to supervisors and nobody liked doing that. The pressures were there, but thanks to God Almighty, my parents and family, supervisor, teachers and colleagues who have been a fulcrum of support, the mantle of research bestowed on me was not too heavy to bear. Thank you also to my team members, Monica Prajapati and Manoj Adhikari, for the golden opportunity to be alert, inspired and shared by your uniqueness. The time spent with you will be a moment to reminisce for growing years. Joy is another word I'd like to stress. I hope it fits the way we feel today. It may be a quiet kind of a joy, a tired joy, a teary-eyed joy, or a shouting, loud kind of a joy. But I hope each of us finds genuine pleasure and satisfaction in our accomplishment as researchers or as supervisors, parents, guardians and loved ones for researchers. Overall, I ended up learning a lot more than I thought I would be able to do this in this small time span, and my hard work paid off. I'm so happy and proud that I've completed my research and I can proudly call myself a researcher. Thank you, have a great evening.
Thank you, Utsubi, for the sharing. We have been stressing that Lsra is a student-driven teacher research program. Ultimately, the credit goes to the teachers, even though the students are the stars today. And yes. And so, I would like to acknowledge with a grateful heart one person who is the teacher of all of us, with whose tireless efforts this research wing was a success and successfully established in St. Xavier's College. Students, I hope you remember Father Vincent Briganza, who is the director of Xavier Institute of Research. He wanted to be here but couldn't be present here. But if you look at the magazine, he has written the foreword for the first magazine of our research annals. So in his absence, we thank him and give him a loud round of applause. Father Vincent Briganza. May I now call upon the chief guest once again on stage to honor our teachers with a trophy. I'm going to, please sir. I would like to call upon the names of the teachers who guided the students in achieving this important milestone in their life. Dr. Urmila Sreshta from the Department of Management. We have Engineer Rajan Karmacharya from the Department of Computer Science. Mr. Ajay Kumar Khan from the Department of Physics. Sir is not present, I think. Mr. Prakash Manandar from the Department of Management, Microbiology. Ms. Marina Manandar from the Department of English. She is not present. She is working now in class. And also, Khushbu ma'am also is, she is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Khushbu Casey from the Department of Major Arts. And we have Mr. Basudev Gimire, sir, from the Department of Physics. Mr. Man Bahadur Subedi from the Department of Mathematics. Mr. Prabhav Bania from the Department of Major Arts. Are you present? Prabhav, yes. We have Dr. Vinod Adhikari from the Department of Physics. Mr. Anup Basnet from the Department of Microbiology. Sir is not present. We have Pushpala Sreshta sir from the Department of Mathematics. Mr. Ramsundar Matang sir from the Department of Physics. Sir also is working at the moment, I think. Mr. Neeraj Nakarmi sir from the Department of Microbiology. And his cute little daughter. Gopal Jha sir from the Department of Physics. Hari Kishore Shah sir from the Department of Physics. We would like to thank Dr. Sagar Aryal, a microbiology department, who is on studies abroad. And we have from the Department of Mathematics, Mr. Amrishman Singh sir. Please come on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together. Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, sir. Department of Social Work, we missed. Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you for reminding. Sorry to call you up again. I missed 3 names. I apologize for that. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my colleague, Mr. Sajal Paude from the Department of Social Work. Rahul Shakya sir from the Department of Social Work. And Mr. Krishna Thapa sir from the Department of Social Work. They are my dear colleagues because I also take classes in social work, and so I forgot. Thank you, sir. Sorry for the trouble. Sagar sir, you could close the curtains now. We are going to have a surprise item. I'm not going to tell you what the surprise is, but I will give you some hints. Oh, you already know.